Welcome to When Not Yet Becomes Right Now, the podcast where we dive deep into the moments of transformation, the times when not yet shifts into right now and everything changes. I'm your host, Jen Ginty, and this podcast is all about those pivotal moments in our life journeys. You know the ones, when the hesitation fades, when we take that first step, even if it feels like a leap. It's in these moments that growth and healing begins. Each episode will explore stories of resilience, moments of clarity, and the sparks that ignite real change. From personal experiences to expert insights, we'll uncover how people navigate the complex journey we call life and come out stronger on the other side. Whether you're searching for that spark in your own life or just curious about how change unfolds for others, you're in the right place. We'll discuss the ups and downs, the breakthroughs and setbacks, and how to embrace the right now, even when it feels out of reach. Because sometimes the hardest part of the journey is realizing that the moment you've been waiting for has already arrived. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's get started. Hello and welcome to When Not Yet Becomes Right Now. I'm your host, Jen Ginty, and I have an amazing guest today. His name is Michael Leung, founder of the Flow Group in Calgary, where he's redefining how we experience sound. His company offers an inclusive, affordable alternative to hearing aids using open ear bone conduction technology with a built-in amplifier, helping people with hearing loss communicate confidently and without stigma. This mission is deeply personal because Michael lives with retinitis pigmentosa and has overcome childhood trauma, PTSD, ADHD, addiction, and near bankruptcy, experiences that have fueled his passion for accessibility, especially in underserved communities. He's been featured on several podcasts and recently wrapping filming for Legacy Makers, a new TV series premiering in summer 2025, highlighting entrepreneurs making global impact through adversity. Welcome, Michael.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
Let's get into it. What is your origin story?
Okay, yeah. So I immigrated to Canada with my family when I was 6. We were trying to avoid the whole communism, the whole China communists taking over, and came here, barely spoke English, and over the years, I think my happiest times was during my elementary and junior high days, but my friends treated me with a lot of respect. I looked different, acted different, dressed different, but I didn't have the bullying. No, didn't get bullied back in the days where people worry about that for their kids now. But my a lot of my trauma happened when my mom passed away of cancer when I was 12, and that was really that still carries me till today. And she is obviously one of the reasons why I also want to do this, to make her proud, because of all the years of mayhem I've caused, and all the issues I've caused my family to worry about me all the time. And I think just I put off a lot of things based on like past past mistakes, past failures. I had many of those, over and over again, and it made me scared to kind of like, take the risk again. But because this is something so vast and so broad that can help so many people, and because I also struggle with the disability, I felt that the impact of this is so strong that everyone should know about this, and everyone should have the opportunity to try this. So after many testing and hundreds of thousands of seniors and people all ages trying this product, uh, it's overwhelmingly positive. And now I'll have a second product prototype coming out in 2 months, which is so advanced and so so advanced, more advanced than the first prototype, that it's it's made people so excited they want to pre-order it already. So
So tell me a bit more about your background. You live with retinitis pigmentosa, and you've also said that you have overcome quite a bit of trauma
yep.
and diagnoses.
Yeah, the PTSD is from the just I ran away when I was like, 13. Me and my dad didn't really see eye to eye. He was more the sergeant, of the house, never loving, not like the loving that my mom gave me, not like hugging, kissing, right? Asian families are more, just not as they don't show as much touch and But my mom did. My mom did. So she walked me to school. She was very worried about me. She walked me to school all the way till grade 6. And when she passed, it was like a part of me died with her, right? Like I want to jump into like, where she's, when they're burying her, I was like, I was trying to, it was my mom, right? So she died horribly, like she lost her hair. She was like she lost so much weight. She didn't recognize me at the end. And it was close to Mother's Day too, right? So it's like always been very traumatic for me. And I never got over it for the longest time. So I found solace in friends, like friends that were also, kind of going through similar pain, and we all grouped together, and it became, you know, just disaster because, you take the risk, you're like, I don't care anymore. I became a straight A student, so and then suddenly everything triggered me to get in fights all the time. I got kicked out of school all the time. You know, um, I would take shortcuts. I would, cheat on tests. Like it's stuff I never used to do. And suddenly I just became this rebellious kid. And the moment my dad tried to get a hold of it, it was too late because he couldn't control me anymore. And I just went from 0 to 100. Never swore, and then all of a sudden just swearing all the time. Dyed my hair yellow, earrings. So my family, it was almost close to the point where they had to, um, disown me. But my mom, my dad, my mom told my dad on her deathbed that, take care of the kids, don't, give up on them, make sure you take good care of them, right? But his way of teaching the kids was not the same as hers. He was so, I think he was going through his own problems too because he lost his wife. So he had to take care of the bills. He had to clean. He had to do everything now, right? So then I think he had no time to really, you know, talk to us and like, sit there and be. So my sister moved away. She's 4 years older than me. She's a teacher. So then I was left by myself with him. So then we just butt heads all the time. Um, so the PTSD is very severe. Even till this day, we haven't really patched things up. So it's kind of it's tough. Like he doesn't. He's not the congratulations, good work kind of dad. Even till all my accomplishments now,
Mhm.
I call him, be like, hey, and he's still like doesn't. He's like, oh, nice. So it is what it is. I have to learn to let go. Forgive. But deep inside, I'm still really, sad that I wish I had parents that, my friends have, right? And I feel very disconnected with my family. Now it's better. My sister and I have a good relationship.
Hmm.
But and then obviously through the years of bad friendships, it's just, became a partier. I went drinking all the time. Drank to the point where I almost like spent all my credit card money, and then I was falling behind on mortgage payments and car payments, and all I cared was just having fun, right? To the point where, life didn't really like matter, until I was almost getting served papers, and I started to like get scared and have to borrow money, and a lot of it was trusting the wrong friends and just investing my money with the wrong friends, like, and a lot of their ideas never panned through. So I had all these people owing me money, and I need the money, and I'm just stuck, right? So start drinking heavily, and it was almost to my rock bottom, right? Until I met my ex-girlfriend of 12 years, and she really lifted me up, right?
Hmm. Wow. I understand that feeling of not being supported by a parent. My childhood, I had my father was my abuser. My mother, I don't blame her, but she just kind of left us alone. She went off and started working and wouldn't, be involved with us, and we'd be left alone with our abuser. So I understand that. And then also, she comes from a generation. I mean, I'm much older than you, but she comes from a generation of, if you're not doing a 9 to 5 job, you're not working, you're not successful. So I understand that idea that your father had, that, you weren't right now, you're not working that 9 to 5 and making money by working for someone else. Entrepreneurism is so different and not understood by older generations.
Correct.
So
It's
I
true.
get that.
It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, it's hard. Even with my product, I'll talk to her about it and she won't give me any real like push or any congratulations. So I totally get that. And it's hard. It's hard to live without that support from a parent figure, especially after losing, a parent who gave you so much love and attention.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was just stuck to learn a lot of things on my own at a young age. So I was pretty much on the streets and like street smarts, right? I had to gain it out on my own. I had to fend for myself. That's why I got into fights and, stole things at the time. And, you know, um it was a tough part of my life. I would never change it because it made me who I am today. But I just wish, I had a closer relationship with my dad because I'll listen to songs here and there. Like recently, I listened to Monsters by James Blunt, right? I
Okay.
sent, I'm a big singer, I sang this song, sent it to my dad, and he didn't grasp the meaning of it. So he thought I called him a monster, which was, I'm
Mm,
like, no, this song, it's about the father and son, and basically the dad is sick, right? James Blunt's dad's sick, and he's saying, "Don't worry, I'll chase the monsters away. You can go to bed
mm,
now." So I don't think he heard the lyrics, because Chinese families, they just they just like hear the name of the title, and he's like, "You call me a monster." I'm like, "No, I was actually trying to make peace with them," and then it turned sideways, and I was actually crying during when I was singing the song too. Like I was said, it's something I would never do, and it just went sideways. And I told
mm.
my sister. My sister's like, "Oh my goodness," like and then I told him afterwards how I felt, and he kind of got it a little bit. He's like, "Okay, I'm sorry," but then older generations have their way of, saying things. Even when they apologize, they're like, "You want me to say sorry? Fine. Sorry. What do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Well, that's not really sincere." But
I I actually had a very similar situation about a song. I sent a song to my father, who was my abuser, "Daughter" by Pearl Jam, which basically says, "Don't call me daughter.
oh, okay,
You
yeah, I
know,
know the song. Yeah,
you're not fit to." And it's about, parents who abuse their child. And his response to it was, "Oh, my daughter sent me a lovely song." Not listening, not understanding that I was saying, "No, don't don't consider me your child." So,
hmm
yeah, I think the generations are very, very different in understanding music. I
yeah.
think their music was more superficial, I would have to say. So it's hard for them to truly understand, right?
Yeah. What nationality are you? What
Um,
nationality?
I'm American. Yeah.
American. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, but, there's so many different ways that people, in so many different cultures that things can get so mistaken between generations. So I totally get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So tell me about your retinitis pigmentosa. I've never heard of this before, and I bet a lot of my listeners have not either. So why don't you give us a little explanation?
Sure, yeah. I didn't really discover that till the last 5, 6 years, but it kind of started off with a retinal detachment, a very serious one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I started seeing signs of it. I didn't know what it was. I saw like flashes of blue light kind of coming in my eyes, and I kind of let it go. A week later, all of a sudden I wake up with a black curtain of down my eye, right? And freaked me out. And for some reason, it didn't register me to go to the hospital right away. Not very smart. So then my chest started hurting, and my sister's like, "Hey, are you having a stroke? Because you can go blind or something, right?" So my chest started hurting, and then I went to the hospital, and they're like, "Oh, good, you don't have a stroke, but your eye, you have a retinal detachment." I'm like, "What's that?" And they're like,
Um,
basically your retina it produces the projects the image, right? So now instead of being flat, it's all wavy. So no explanation. I have a -9 for my eye, so it's really bad. I'm blind anyways. So they think
yeah.
maybe because of that. But 4 months of my life had to sleep facing down. I couldn't do anything. Had special equipment just to watch, iPad through, because they have to put a bubble up your eye, and then they have to flatten your retina. So
Oh my
then,
goodness.
yeah, yeah, it was like terrible. And they said it was one of the worst retinal detachments they've ever seen. So um, that's where I actually met a lot of seniors. But after that, 1 year later, I developed a cataract, like, because after major surgery, you get cataracts, right? So I was only like
Yeah.
35 years old. I cataract surgeries, I had retinal detachments, And then I started noticing that I would do really clumsy things, like really clumsy things, right? Leap off stairs, like two, three steps, I just fall, and then I'll walk into walls at night, and then I would shoulder check people only on this one side. So I would go grocery shopping or go across the street, I'll just shoulder check people really hard. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then they're like, "What's your problem?" Right? And I didn't really know what's going on. And then um, we go for dinner, and then it was really dark, and I wouldn't find my way back to the dinner table because it was so dark. I'd be
Oh,
feeling my way in the washroom. I'd be like doing circles. So people are thinking I'm kind of, something's happened to my brain, right? So
oh,
my I went to get checked, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got this thing called retinitis pigmentosa. You've lost your peripheral, so now it's eating into the central of your vision. So
oh
I can't
goodness.
see up, down, left, right. That's why I'm hitting things, running it, walking into things, right? Because I don't even see my feet. I don't see the steps, so I just leap. Um, so my ex-girlfriend had to lead me around, always had to, have friends lead me to the washroom so I come back. I don't go out anymore because I can't see at night, but I can still drive because I have one good eye, right? It hasn't
Okay.
affected my other eye yet. So Alberta, you can still drive with one eye. Um,
Okay.
but so no cure. There is trials, and I'm on a list, but you need to qualify for it because but so I don't qualify for it right now because they're only looking for people just with retinitis pigmentosa only because I've had a retinal detachment and cataract, so I don't fall under the criteria, right? Because
Okay.
it's not like the results are going to be legit, right? So now I'm forced to wait till FDA approves it, so that's going to take a while, and hopefully it doesn't get it could get worse and worse, but it could be 10, 20 years from now, it could be next 2 days from now, it could be 30 years
Oh.
from now, where it eats into my central that I can't even see anything anymore. So that's what I'm scared of. That's why I travel. That's why I'm doing everything now. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how scary. The stress of not knowing. That must be so hard for you.
Yeah.
So you're you're young, you're out in the world and you're trying to make your life, and you're with these friends, right? And you're giving them are you giving them money for them to do their own like products, that kind of thing?
Yeah, like shareholders, they say, and like they have this idea, and then they just need people to pitch in money, yeah, to like, you
Right.
know, create the product or whatever, right? So, and back then they just didn't do like, oh yeah, you got an idea here, it's just like you don't do the research, you don't. So everything I do now, it's like through hard work. Everything is like through research, due diligence, like lawyer contracts. Everything's like fully done to the max. So I take a lot of pride in that learning on my own, and like I didn't have like business degree. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take a chance on yourself, right? But don't take a chance on someone else's idea because you don't know what the heck it even is. Or even if it's a great idea, it's still not as satisfying unless it's your own idea, right?
Oh, absolutely. I
Right?
100% agree with that. Yeah, it's hard to make those decisions. So, you're now creating your own products. What started that? What gave you the idea for these products?
Um, I was always kind of like an entrepreneur. I always like I did real estate, did stocks, right? But my family owns factories in Asia, right? So they were doing electronics, and they were pitching me ideas. At first, I was like, "Oh, I want to do some earbuds," but then so many earbuds out there, and they're like, "This is not, it's not going to really go far." So then I was like, "Oh, I need to do something that no one's done," right? And she's like, "Oh, how about bone conduction headphones?" So I looked into it, plenty of those around too, right? So that you can use it for listening to music, talking on the phone, streaming, right? So that's what 99.9% of them do, like shocks and So I was like,
What
oh,
is
yeah,
do you explain the bone conducting part of
yeah,
things? I don't
sure,
know anything about that. I'm not sure if
sure,
my
yeah, yeah,
listeners know anything about it
sure,
either.
sure. So it's an open ear bone conduction headphone. So it looks like this. So oopsie, sorry. So it looks like this. So
So
you see
it sits above your ear and not inside your ear.
exactly. It sits in front of your
Okay.
ears on your cheekbones. So and the front part is called a transducer. So it takes the data, right, the audio data, and it converts it through your cheekbones. It amplifies the sounds through your cheekbones, and it goes
That's
direct.
fascinating.
Yeah, and sound vibrations starts passing through your bones, and it converts it into electrical signals, and that's when your cochlea and your auditory nerves would transmit it into sound from the electrical signals, right? Um,
Very cool.
yeah, so people that have outer, middle, and inner ear issues, it works great. So the sound vibration to bypass through damaged parts into wall. Like if there's a wall that's like blocking the sounds, it penetrates through that, right? Because it's sound vibrations, right? And my product's the only product that's out there that has this amplification that added in. So now it's a special product to aid hearing. So everyone else does everything else, but now mine does that. Plus, you can use it to talk to people, engage, socially engage, like a hearing aid, except it looks like a headphone. So there's
Oh.
no stigma to it, right? Yeah,
Oh, that's excellent. I love that. I mean,
yeah,
that's really important. And especially as an old woman who's losing her hearing, I'll have to look into that.
yeah. You don't have to
Check
worry
out the
about
product.
You don't have to worry about losing your hearing aids too, right? Because it costs $8,000 to replace them. So a lot of people are on their second, third pair, and they're like, "Is there anything out there? This just sits on your ears. You can't worry about losing this. It's waterproof, right? And it's rechargeable batteries. And now I have the special feature that reduces background sounds too. So hearing aids and everything have that. So now it's like this advanced product that you can hear so clear now with it, right? For so affordable price, right? So
Wow. What gave you the idea to go further with it?
when I saw the demand and like the results and how life changing it is, like I've seen seniors cry, in front of me. They're like, oh, you have no idea. I can't wear hearing aids. I get itches. I'm allergic to the silicone, and they're like, we just don't want to spend this kind of money anymore. They're eating into our like savings or retirement money. Right, they pay enough money just paying for senior homes, right? Those are like really expensive, right? 4, 5,
Um,
$6,000. So and also I thought of catering to like people like my dad. Like my dad lives in a low income subsidized government like senior home. So they only pay like six, $700, $800 a month. But it has everything they have that they need, but most people don't have hearing aids. So I saw a lot of seniors, they don't have hearing aids, they can't afford it. So this would be perfect for them. So I'm collaborating with different senior homes, and we're actually trying to get grants to come in to get free headphones to all these low income people, so they actually have something to use now, right? Because hearing is so
um,
important, right? Um, so that's yeah, just making an impact. I just saw for children, autistic children. They're learning easier. War veterans, they can hear, and they blew out their eardrums, and now they can hear with this. Factory workers, all of all sorts, blind athletes now they can use it to navigate. Just something so simple, and you just put on your head, and all of a sudden it can help change your life, right? So it's huge.
Wow, that's an incredible product.
Yeah,
I'm amazed that it can do so much for people who wouldn't have the ability to do that. Regular headphones, if you want to get a pair of Apple AirPods Plus, whatever they are, they're like $250.
yeah,
It's a lot of money out there to get something that can help you, and to know that there's a product that really works well for um, all of these communities is great. It's beautiful.
yeah. It is.
Yeah. So you said you had another product that you were working on. What is that?
No, that is the product.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
That is the product. But I do have another product that is a Bluetooth transceiver. So I noticed a lot of seniors were blasting their TV at night, 60, 70, and they get noise complaints, right?
That's my
So
mom.
yeah, right. Or family members like, oh man, like my mom's just blasting the TV. So with combined with the headphones, so I have this transceiver because I noticed a lot of TVs they're not compatible with headphones like this, right? Only for Sony and Bose because they're, super like advanced, right? So TVs will recognize that. But for particular bone conduction headphones, it wouldn't work directly with your TV. So you need this transceiver. And once you put the transceiver in, the and you pair it with the headphone, now the senior can watch TVs cinematically with at mute. You can mute the TV and all the sounds go directly to the headphone and they sit there, no noise complaints, and they watch it in peace and quiet. So they love it. They watch and they can answer their phone. They can do everything all, simultaneously, right? And it's easy to use. It's only like a couple buttons, right? Very senior friendly too.
Oh, that's great. What made you focus on the senior community?
One of my good friends is a director of senior care. So I pitched her the idea before I even kind of did this, and she's like, "This is great. Like, we really need something like this. You can come in, start doing presentations." And then from there, it just went from like two, three to like 20, 30 different senior homes and different cities. And then that's when I thought, this could go, national or global one day. So, hence that's why I'm on a audition for Dragon's Den next year, which is what I'm planning to do. So, together with all the products and the demand and the social impact, I think the pitch will go relatively well with them because they can see how much this can change people's lives, right? For very affordable cost too. So, yeah.
That's so great. Tell me about Legacy Makers. What's that all about? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so has a lot of different celebrities on it. They're actually the Shark Tank hosts. Some of them got together and they're producing these shows, right? And um basically they interviewed like 12,000 applicants worldwide and only about I think 500 people got chosen. So it's like 1% club, right? They want to find impactful stories, people that have a great story to tell that went through struggles, right? So it's like a little mini Netflix documentary per person. So you go on this show and you have to download Inside app, right? And it's going to be streamed on all the major platforms, but we can't say the names yet till they say it's okay because of legalities. But
Mm,
they can say that we can. It's going to be on all the platforms, right? And it's going to reach if people it's going to reach I think 100 200 million people because it's that many streaming platforms that's going to be involved, right? And it's got on like all these big magazines like Billboard magazine, Rolling Stones. It's been promoted on that. A lot of big celebrities on it featured first. They're gonna be featured first, and then they're gonna introduce us after, which is great because they're gonna help drive up the viewers to watch the show. And so yeah, basically it's like people all over the world from best-selling authors to someone like me, a innovator. You got like women in power. You got like so many different categories, right? Social impact. So all these categories, different seasons, they just keep rolling in, just like talk about different people and their different stories, right? So mine is just kind of like this. It talks about my childhood, life, struggles, all the way to my product and the company and stuff. So yeah.
ooh,
It's really fun. It was fun to
fascinating.
do. Yeah, it was fun. I felt like a celebrity doing it. They had all the crazy
Yeah.
lights. They treat you like a celebrity. You got a red carpet coming out soon. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's nice.
oh,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
exciting. I can't wait to see
yeah.
it. Yeah, you'll have to let me know so I can
100%.
push that out everywhere because I can't wait to see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I
That
for sure
sounds
will. Yeah,
great.
I
And
know.
then you also said you were going into the Dragon's Den. What is the Dragon's Den?
Oh, you don't know her Dragon's Den? It's
No.
one of the most popular shows globally for people that want to pitch their product in front of these dragons that have they're investors, right? They have money to invest into your company. So you tell them, you get an X percentage of my company, and then you ask for a certain amount of money, you pitch every single, category, like all the aspects from financials to, like the impact to like pretty much everything, right? And they'll say yes or no, and then you'll get some, TV time. And it's
Okay.
so every country has their own kind of Dragon's Den. They might name it differently, but Dragon's Den is just pretty much like Shark Tank, but a different version. Yeah.
And that'll be out in any platform too,
That
or
one's on like cable TV, I think. That was just on like ordinary TV. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That show's on all the time. So yeah.
so what about your life circumstances, your origin story? What do you think led you to becoming an entrepreneur?
Um I think I think I've always been like a risk taker, like because I did real estate, I did like stocks. I think I just like learning new things, and I have ADHD, like severe ADHD. I'm taking meds for it, but it can be a superpower. Like it's helped me when you really care about something, you really like something, ADHD is great because it really makes you zone into that one thing you really like.
Yes, my
Um,
son has ADHD, and I
right?
see the hyper focus.
Yeah,
There's that.
hyper
Yeah.
focus. Yeah. So we learn differently. I don't learn by reading. I can't read a book. Like I read one paragraph, I just read it over and over again. It's just uh I'm not interested in it, but I learn visually, right? But back to your question, but being an entrepreneur, like working for people back then, like I worked at a hotel. I put so much time into it. I was a bellman, busboy. I took hotel management, right? And then I had scholarships. And my manager gave the job to someone, his best friend, who had no experience. Um, and I was torn. I was just like, I felt discrimination for the first time at a workplace, right? Because I worked my butt off from a dishwasher to waiting tables to parking cars to front desk, everything. I did everything I needed to become a manager, and they gave it to someone else that have no experience. So I felt
Mhm.
cheated, betrayed, and I was like, I'm not working for anyone anymore. I want to just be my own,
That's it.
That's it. That's it. I walked out
No more.
and then I found my way through and I found my way out and I never worked for anyone ever since. So yeah.
As an entrepreneur myself, I honestly feel like it is in your bones. Like you have this feeling of, I need to do this on my own. I need to be my own system, my own financial system, support system, just have all of that in our own control. Do you think it has a lot to do with like control issues?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. For me it's like my little baby now, I put too much on my plate. That's why people are worried about me. I don't sleep very much. Like I need to regulate my life because I finally had social media. I had to hire a social media team because it's like for me to do everything is just overwhelming, right? And I burnt out a couple times, and I got sick from it. And but overall, it's like the feeling of like it's almost like chasing the success is almost like I've seen the success. It's like I haven't like even touched the surface of it. I see the impact of it, and it just keeps growing. It just makes me so excited, but I just know I need to prioritize things better and things could be more effective, right? But it's definitely like having your own thing and seeing it change lives and seeing it grow and seeing the magnitude of it really makes me excited and like is like nothing ever before, It's almost like it's just it's like passion, dedication. Like I've never had this kind of feeling before.
Yeah, I think you have it right on the impact thing. With my product, I have a pull apart monster doll that I use. It's like a therapy doll for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
And I created it for myself. I created the first one from my frustrations with my PTSD symptoms. And when I realized that that could help me and I wanted to share it with the world, it really was so fulfilling to see the impact of how something that I created and dreamed up could be so supportive to others.
Exactly. And even your podcast now, it's actually helping a lot of people too. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and the
is.
whole thing of putting too much on your plate, that's part of my thing too. Of course I have a company, of course I have a
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. But
But if you love what you do.
you gotta stay busy sometimes too. For me, if I don't stay busy, that's when I start thinking of things, maybe the PTSD stuff or like whatever. You have to channel yourself through the good things, right? So
Yeah.
move forward, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I am that person. My therapist is always saying, "So what did you do to relax?" And there was no relaxing. I was on the computer all day doing, if not my Moody Monster, I was doing Not Yet to Right Now. So it takes you out, right? It takes you out of the uncomfortable moments in life, and it's not exactly healthy, right? Because we do have to learn to sit with our emotions. It's hard, right? Nobody wants to feel sadness or feel triggered or fear, anything like that. Um, but yeah, I think it is hard, especially for entrepreneurs, to step back and recognize mental health for ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your story. You're doing a great job. You're helping so many people out in this world, and I can't wait to see more.
Oh, thank you.
Can you tell us where we can find your product, where we can find you?
Yeah. So my website's www.theinnerflow.com. So INNERFLO dot com, right? So
Hmm.
and from there you can find, like the content, you can find online shopping, testimonies, technology, like everything's on there. Soon I'm going to put up blogs, announcements, even podcasts, attach it to their partnerships, everything. September we're going to have the launch, so by then I'm hoping I can open up many countries to be able to access it, to be able to fulfill the orders and stuff, right? So step by step is doing really, it's kind of moving in the right direction. The Dragon's Den, like I said, that's next March. I'm going to audition for it, and
Ooh.
I'm pretty confident about it. So if I make it, then I'm going to announce it, people can watch. Same with the legacy makers. I'll be posting these things on my website on yeah, theinnerflow.com. So yeah.
Okay, and I will share that on the show notes and through social media so everyone can take a look at Michael's work and what he's doing to help people who need help with their hearing and seniors especially. I have to look at it for my mother, absolutely.
Well, sounds good. Yeah, I think she'll definitely see improvements for sure.
That's great. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Jennifer.
Michael. It was
Thank
great having
you.
you on the show.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the podcast. This show is produced by Phoenix Freed LLC, and I'm your producer, Jen Ginty. We hope you found today's conversation inspiring. Okay. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the podcast. This show is produced by Phoenix Freed LLC, and I'm your producer, Jen Ginty. We hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you have a story of your own about when a not yet moment became right now, we encourage you to reach out and share it. You can find more information about being a guest on our show at whennotYetBecomesRightNow.com. Remember, you are not alone on your journey, whether it's a journey of healing, growth, or transformation. Every story matters. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time with another inspiring episode.